What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing part 2 of the Great League Battle of the Spice, featuring 16 more of the spiciest and most insane teams you'll ever see in the Go Battle League. And if you missed part 1, I definitely recommend checking it out when you're done watching this one. But if that's not enough for you and you want to see more, the Ultra League and Master League Battle of Spice videos will be coming out very soon, and I have an entire Battle of Spice playlist that you can check out and binge watch whilst you wait for those videos to come out. Now with that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. What is the spiciest Pokemon you've lost to this season? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Let's go into the first battle, and we got a triple shiny shadow theme team here, with all 3 shinies also being a sort of pinkish color, which is very cool. We're gonna say swap, unfortunately met with Annihilate in the lead there. Very awkward core breaker to deal with. We swap into our only real answer in Crobat, but this is a matchup where possibly we can flip this matchup here. However, I don't know if this is really going to help us. So at this point, we are going to shield in this matchup. The opponent fires off another Aqua Tail. We can commit to the air/farm, then we flip switch advantage, but we're down a shield, and still we have no Pokemon that's really going to be able to deal with that Annihilate. But we're going to fire off the Poison Fang. The opponent no shields that, realizing that of course a Rock Slide going to hit for double super effective damage. It would easily one-shot them, so they might as well no shield the Poison Fang, and we have very little fast move pressure as well, and so we are going to go for 3 Bullet Seeds, throwing on good timing there, firing off the Rock Slide. Rock Slide is going to be shielded by the opponent. They would actually be able to farm us down, so we swap into Ambipom, and unfortunately these counters are chunking, but likewise so is the Astonish damage. We use our final shield there as they go for an Ice Punch. We can now fire off the Aerial Ace. The opponent no shields for some reason. They come back in with Talonflame, and they try to farm us down. I don't know what they were thinking there, but we get the Astonish farm down, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Pancham into a Gallade, so not really great for us. However, the opponent just goes straight for a Leaf Blade, which Pancham is able to tank. We're now going to fire for Body Slam. Body Slam would also not get the KO here. However, we're going to grab a shield there as we swap into our shiny Shadow Salamence. Now, we could live anything they throw. However, close combat, despite being resisted, would do a ton of damage there. So we use our shield. We're now going to reach a Fly up against the Jumpler. Fly, going to grab that final shield. And at this point, I think we just save our shield for our Shadow Houndoom. Going to no shield. They actually go for Energy Ball there for some reason. Very strange decision. However, that actually gives them the perfect farm down, so we're forced to come in with the Pancham, basically just force them to throw the energy, and that probably implies that they're running Acrobatics as the secondary charge move. At this point, we come in with the Houndoom. We can Fire Fang farm down. Looks like the rest of their team as well, as they come in with a Charger Bug. We can go straight for the Flamethrower, and from a Shadow Houndoom, Flamethrower absolutely gets the KO up against Charger Bug, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, and the only battle for the Great League Battle of Spice that was submitted above Legend Elo, so very cool to see. We are going to no shield here as we swap into our Grimer. The opponent fires off a Frenzy Plant, and they come in with a Barrel. So obviously they don't have a great response to Grimer, but they wanted to chip first with the Frenzy Plant, maybe hoping that would put them into range where they can just roll out farm down. But no, that's not going to be the case, and Sludge Bomb no shielded. We're able to flip switch advantage. They come back in with the Venusaur, and the opponent actually throws a charge move here. So at this point, Grimer gonna no shield. We flip switch advantage. Very nice. We can now come in with the Heatmore and go for a full Fire Spin farm down. Whether the opponent does reach a last second charge move, gonna use our first shield there, shielding up the Frenzy Plant, and they've got more Pekko in the back. So we're going straight for Power Up Punch here. Power Up Punch is gonna be shielded by the opponent. We boost up the Fire Spin damage, and we go for the next Power Up Punch straight away. Power Up Punch number 2, gonna grab the final shield. However, we do have a Rotom in the back, which is unfortunately gonna be completely walled by this Morpeko, so we're gonna swap. We make the catch there. Really nice catch. We're able to catch a Psychic Fangs as well, of course. Aura Will would have easily one-shot us there, but at this point the opponent realizing there's nothing they can do, so they just concede the match. So going into the next battle, we've got a level 50 Shadow Coughing in the lead up against a Charge Bug, and we're going to go straight for a Sludge Bomb here. Now, unfortunately, this does not reach a very high CP, so Sludge Bomb doesn't really do much damage, but we swap. We catch the move onto our shiny Shadow Tyranitar. A lot of shiny Shadows so far. The opponent's then going to come in with Feraligatr, and they actually overfarm, allowing us to reach a Brutal Swing. Looks like a CMP tie as well, so Brutal Swing going to be shielded by the opponent. At this point, I'd probably just no shield this, but no, we're actually going to shield this as the opponent goes for our Hydro Cannon. They will now be able to very comfortably outpaced us to the next charge move, so I'm not sure I agreed with that shield usage. But either way, we know shield, we can come in with the High Dragon and probably farm them down before they reach another charge move, and we're absolutely able to do so. We get the Dragon Breath farm down, they come back in with the Charger Bug. Of course, X's are going to hit for super effective damage, so we will be shielding this up, but the opponent comes in with their final Pokemon, which ends up being a Talonflame. So we go straight for the Brutal Swing there, and Brutal Swing, gonna grab a shield from the opponent. We can reach another Brutal Swing before they even reach their first charge move. Brutal Swing number 2 gets them very low. We're now gonna swap, catch the charge move onto our Shadow Coughing. The opponent fires off the fly, which actually does not get the KO there, so we're able to go for one infestation, fire off the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb, oh sorry, that's not Sludge Bomb, that is Sludge, and because it's Sludge, not Sludge Bomb, we're able to reach a last second charge move, taking out the Charger Bug, and we're able to take that game. So heading into the next match, we're going to see a Shadow Alolan Grimer in the lead up against a Talonflame. So we are going to see the opponent's going to stay in here. We're also going to stay in, and the opponent's eventually going to swap into a Diggersby. So we go straight for a Crunch. Crunch is going to be no-shielded by the Diggersby. We're then going to swap into a Delibird. Now, this trainer did mention that Delibird is definitely not fully powered up. It's at like level 42 or something, so not fully powered up, but still should be able to put in some work here, especially if the opponent doesn't go for Fire Punch, but instead opts to go for the Scorching Sands. That's definitely going to benefit us. The opponent finally realizes this is a flying type Pokemon, flying and ice type Pokemon. So instead of going for the double resisted move, they go for the super effective move there, and they do actually flip switch advantage. However, we can come back in with the Grimer, go straight for Crunch. Crunch is going to be shielded by the opponent, but they commit to a full Incinerate farm down, allowing us to reach a second Crunch, and Crunch number 2 going to grab the final shield from the opponent. We can now come in with our Vullaby, and the opponent continues to farm over 100 energy. We call the bait there, and they just go for a fly, which is now great. We can shield up the next charge move. The opponents used all their energy. They come in with a Feraligatr, and all we have to do right now is shield up this charge move. The opponent fires off the Hydro Cannon. We can now overfarm just a little bit, fire off the Brave Bird here, and Brave Bird will easily be enough damage to take out Shadow Feraligatr. They come back in with the Talonflame, and we are just barely able to reach a Foul Play up against the Talonflame. Foul Play gets the KO, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, another triple shiny Shadow theme team here. This time with shiny Shadow Flygon in the lead, and we are going to stay in this matchup. Now we're going to go straight for a Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw going to be no-shielded by the opponent. Of course, we could be running Stone Edge, and that would have been a very satisfying one-shot. However, unfortunately, we're not running it. So going to farm up to the next Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw number 2 is going to be shielded by the opponent, and the opponent will fire off their charge move straight away. At this point, we're going to let the fly take us out there, come in with the Obstagoon, and look to go for a resisted counter farm down. However, unfortunately, the opponent does reach another charge move. They fire off another fly there. We get the counter farm down, and let's see what they've got in the back. They come in with a Toxapex, so we're going straight for Night Sash here. Night Sash, not going to do too much damage, but if we get a boost, that could be very good. We're actually going to swap into our Grimer, and the opponent comes in with a Serperior. So Grimer is core breaking their backline. Sludge Bomb lands. It nearly gets the one shot. We get the Mondstadt farm down, and at this point, it's looking like it's game over. I'm not sure why they didn't shield that, but we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we see another Talonflame lead. This time, very good for us because we got Bonsly. We're now going to see Azumarill swapping in. So we come in with the Alolan Geodude. We're going to fire off a Rock Tomb possibly there, as I think we just debuffed their attack. So we're now going to shield up the charge move. And at this point, are we just going to go straight for a Thunderbolt? I think we're going to have to here. I don't think Rock Tomb is going to do much damage. So we're now going to go straight for the Thunderbolt here. Thunderbolt, if this does connect, it's going to hit for super effective damage. But the opponent does shield, but they swap out anyways, and they swap into a Charger Bug. So honestly, we could have possibly stayed in there. I'm not sure if we would have reached another charge move, so maybe this is the right play there for swapping out. But we're now going to full send a Blizzard, and of course Blizzard is going to hit for huge damage. It gets the one shot. They can come in with the Talonflame. We're actually able to reach a last second Night Sash, which is very nice. Night Sash is going to put them into range where we can just Rock Throw farm them down. A single Rock Throw does huge damage there. The opponent fires off the Flame Charge. Flame Charge does not do much damage. We can now go straight for a Rock Slide here. Rock Slide is going to barely not get the KO, but we can snipe with the Geodude. And actually, we don't even need to fire off a charge move there, as the Volt Switch damage takes out the Talonflame, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, and we are going to see a Shadow Donphan in the lead. We say swap into our Cherrim, and we're going to go straight for a Fire Weather Ball. Weather Ball is going to grab the shield from the opponent, which is very interesting. At this point, I definitely just no-shield this. No, okay, never mind. We're going to shield up the crunch there, fire off another Weather Ball here, and Weather Ball number 2 is going to be double shielded by the opponent, and we're actually able to reach a third Weather Ball as well. I think we just threw on CMP, which is very nice, and you can see Weather Ball really didn't do much damage, so it did not warrant a shield, or actually warrant both shields from the opponent. But now we can come in with our our regular Graveler there, go for the Mudslap farm down, shooting up the Aqua Tail. They come in with their Shadow Donphan. We're going to go straight for a Dig. Dig is actually going to do quite a lot of damage there. We then swap into Vanillux, and the opponent's got a Dugong in the back. So we're going straight for Signal Beam here. Signal Beam is non-stab, but it does hit fairly hard there, and the opponent's going to fire for Charge Move. We should be able to live a Drill Run here. The opponent actually goes for an Icy Wind for some reason. Don't really understand that play whatsoever, but now we're going to fire off a Signal Beam. Signal Beam should be getting the KO here, despite being debuffed, and the opponent throws their energy. They had to. They are very low. Body Slam gets the KO, but now we can Mudslap, farm down the Donphan, and we're able to take that game. So going into next battle, we see Mismagius, Shadow Mismagius into a Gastrodon. So whilst this probably isn't the best matchup for us, the opponent does have to commit to an Earth Power or a Water Pulse to get rid of us here. A Body Slam not going to do much damage, and the opponent actually does not shield. We full send the Shadow Ball, and we get the KO there. However, they now come in with a Dugong, and Dugong is going to absolutely destroy our backline. So Shadow Ball, going to grab a shield there. We're then forced to swap out. We can't give them any extra energy. So we're going to shoot up the Icy Wind here, and we are going to commit to a Precipice Blades, and we do just barely reach there, throwing on the CMP die. Precipice Blades is going to grab the final shield from the opponent. At this point, we have to just let the Groudon go down. They will be able to outpace us to the next charge move, or probably actually just fully farm us down before we reach a Precipice Blades again. So now we come in with the Haunch Crow. We will have to shield here or throw on the CMP tie, and we do exactly that. We go straight for Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is going to be no shielded. It gets the KO. They come in with a Kanto Marowak, and we can full send the Sky Attack. Now, unfortunately, Sky Attack not going to hit as hard as a Brave Bird. It actually doesn't get the KO, but Mismagius able to come in, get the Sidewave farm down, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we've got a triple Bug and Electric type team here with Shadow Galvantula in the lead. We've got Charge Bug, which obviously isn't the spiciest Pokemon, but we've also got Vikavolt in the back, so it's going to be very difficult here if we see any core breakers. Quagsire, a little bit of a core breaker here, but we are running Energy Balls, so hopefully... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, hopefully we do land this. We're actually just going to let the Shadow Galvantula go down there. Going to come in with the Vikavolt, and we're probably... Well, okay, never mind. I was going to say, we're going to have to shield this. Mud Bomb does do a lot of damage there, but we can now overfarm, fire off the Fly, and Fly will be getting the KO from this range. So the opponent is going to let the Shadow Quagsire go down. They come in with a Talonflame. We come in with the Charger Bug, and we are able to outpace them to that first charge move. This charge is going to grab the final shield from the opponent, and the opponent's going to fire another charge move here. We should actually outpace them to this final charge move as they fire off the Fly, but the opponent swaps back into Galissapod, so we go straight for the discharge. Discharge is going to put them into farm down range, and the opponent throws their energy. So now we can come in with the Vikavolt, go for that Volt Switch farm down, and that will actually allow us to come out with a Discharge loaded. They come back in with the Talonflame, but to be greeted with the Discharge, which gets the KO, and we're able to take that game. So going into next battle, and we got a dog and two sort of sheep Pokemon, and this is meant to represent a sheepdog protecting its sheep, so that's pretty cool. We're going to see a Drifblim in the lead. We completely wall this thing. The opponent then swaps into a Toxapex. We're going to save the energy there. They did just debuff us. We come in with the double, and the opponent fires off a Brine straight away. Brine not going to do much damage there. We're actually running double nukes with Wild Charge and Payback, so we go straight for the Wild Charge. Wild Charge does big damage. We can fire off Wild Charge number 2, and of course Wild Charge will get the KO from this range, so it grabs the the first shield from the opponent. And at this point, we're actually happy to let the double go down here. They go for another Brine. Brine gets the KO. We can come in with our Flaffy and go for a full tackle farm down. So we are going to no shield this. The opponent swaps back into their Drifblim, and we're going straight for a Power Gem, I assume this is. Power Gem is going to be shielded by the opponent, but we've got the Crunch or the Foul Play, whatever this move is, already loaded. loaded, so Crunch or Foul Play gets the KO, but they come in with Azumarill, and we do reach a last second Dark type charge move, whatever this could be, and Crunch is going to get the debuff there, so it must have been Crunch and not Foul Play, because Foul Play does not have that debuff chance. And actually, by the way, they are the exact same move, it's just Crunch has that debuff potential, so you might as well run Crunch over Foul Play. But anyways, we go for a Trailblaze. Trailblaze gets the KO there, allowing us to boost up the tackle damage and just barely get the tackle farm down up against the Toxapex, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, great lead for us as we're going to see a Dunsparce in the lead up against our Shadow Machoke. Now, unfortunately, Shadow Machoke only has fighting type moves, but in this matchup, that's perfectly fine because we're going straight for Dynamic Punch. Dynamic Punch is going to get the one shot there. They then come in with a Wigglytuff and we swap out into our Heatmore. The opponent comes in with Azumarill, but we've got Thunder Punch for coverage. So Thunder Punch does some respectable damage there, and the opponent, unless they go and full send a Hydro Pump, will not be able to get the KO. However, we're going to shield anyways. Fire off another Thunder Punch here. We kind of need to start getting shields from the opponent. So Thunder Punch is going to be shielded by the Azumarill, and the opponent is not going to commit to the farm down. Instead, firing off a last second charge move. Ice Beam will be getting the KO there. At this point, we are going to come in with the shiny Shadow Pinsir, and these Fury Cutters are resisted, but honestly, they are chunking a fair bit, so we're going to shield this. Wigglytuff will not be reaching a charge move if we overfarm by the perfect amount. We're actually going to swap back into Machoke, get the snipe there, come out with a Dynamic Punch loaded. However, we're probably going to grab the shield anyways. Okay, never mind, we don't grab that shield there, but we go for Brick Break. Brick Break will be debuffing their defense. So now we've got back-to-back close combats, and the first one grabs that final shield. Obviously, close combat number 2 gets the one shot there up against the Wigglytuff, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we got Shadow Sharpedo into a Shadow Kanto Marowak. So these waterfalls are absolutely chunking, but likewise, so was the Mud Slap damage. We're actually going to build up to the Crunch, go for a Poison Fang there, and Poison Fang is unfortunately no shielded. So should have just gone for the Crunch there, but I guess we wanted that guaranteed debuff. The opponent goes for their own Crunch, and at this point, can we commit to a farm down here before they farm us down? They go for an Aqua Tail, and we just barely get that Thunder Shock farm down. We've got back-to-back Wild Charges here. This Marowak is in range where a Wild Charge will get the KO anyway, so we go for the Wild Charge there. The opponent commits the shield just to be farmed down by Waterfall damage, and we've got another Fidough here. I think this one is actually level 49, so not quite maxed out yet, but it doesn't matter. We call the bait there. We can now fire for Psychic Fangs. Psychic Fangs is double resisted, but it just doesn't really matter. The point was not to deal damage, it's to debuff their defense. We get the charm farm down, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we've got the full Sprigatito evolution line here, and we're going to see a Shadow Palkia Say Swap, which is very interesting. I really love Shadow Palkia. We're going to go straight for Night Slash. Night Slash, of course, going to grab a shield. We can now come in with the Florigato, I think this is called. They go for an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is resisted, and now at this point, they will reach another charge move, but we can shield this and then go for a full farm down. So we go for the farm down there. We come out with a Play Rough loaded as the opponent comes back in with a Drifblim. We go for Play Rough. Play Rough is going to be no shielded. It doesn't do too much damage there, but we can come back in with Meowscarada, and unfortunately they just barely outpace us to that charge move, so we will be shielding. They go for an Icy Wind. We're now going to go straight for the Night Slash, making sure to throw it on good timing though as we go for one Leafage first, and we are just barely able to reach another Night Slash before they fully farm us down. That is absolutely clutch. Night Slash gets the KO, and they come back in with the Marowak, and all we need to do here is live a Rock Slide. Sprigatito is going to tank the Rock Slide there, go straight for the Grass Knot, and Grass Knot, is this enough to KO? Yes, it is. It takes out the Marowak, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, and we're going to see a Mandibuzz in the lead up against a Shadow Golem, and unfortunately this is a bit of an awkward matchup for us just because we are hitting for double resisted fast move damage, but we swap, we catch the charge move onto our Staraptor, but I think we're on Sand Attack here as well, but the opponent swaps into a Shadow Drapion. Unfortunately, regular Drapion there. Unfortunately, Poison Stings will probably be able to fully farm us down here, but we're going straight for the close combat, and the reason we're going for this is if the opponent does shield, well, actually, it doesn't really matter. There's no shield anyway, so I'm just not even going to bother saying what I was going to say there, but either way, we're now going to go for the Fly. Fly is going to be no shielded as well, as they do nearly farm us down there. Unfortunately, we missed the Mud Slap as we come in, so instead, we're just going to no shield. Hydro Cannon gets the one shot, but we can come in with our Shadow Ho-Oh, Probably have to no-shield the first charge move here. Nope, never mind. We're going to shield the foul play, and we are going to commit to a Sacred Fire here, and Sacred Fire does have a chance to debuff their attack. Sacred Fire grabs the final shield, but it does not get that attack debuff. Shadow Ho-Oh is going to tank the foul play, one Incinerate, and we're able to reach a Brave Bird in time. Brave Bird, of course, will be enough damage to get the KO, and we can go for the Incinerate farm down up against Feraligatr, and we're able to take that game. Now go into the final battle and possibly the most controversial submission I've seen in a Battle of Spice, because I am featuring a Chansey, and you're thinking, what the heck is this nonsense? How is Chansey spicy? Well, this is a triple Shundo theme team, so whilst, yes, Chansey, one of the least fun Pokemon to even watch, let alone play, but it is a cool theme team at least, and Skorupi and Pancham are very cool picks here. So whilst Chansey itself, really boring, it's actually not a very good matchup for us, but they swap into Toxicroak. We are running, I think, Zen Headbutt as the fast move and Psychic as a charge move, so that's not really the best swap on the opponent's end there, but either way, we can go for the Psychic. Psychic is going to be shielded by the opponent. We're going to stay in with the Chansey, and the opponent does not commit to the full farm down there. Huge mistake. They go for a Mud Bomb. Now we come in with the Pancham. It looks like they're lagging, but we take advantage of it anyways. We can have fire for Crunch here. Crunch not going to do too much damage up against the Skarmory. They are going to no-shield, and unfortunately we don't get a debuff there, but we can reach a second Crunch. So firing off straight away, Crunch number 2 grabs the final shield, and we swap into Skorupi. Of course, gonna have to shield this up as the opponent goes for a Sky Attack there, but they swap into Meganium, and this is absolutely fine with us. We can go straight for a Cross Poison. Cross Poison, not going to do much damage. Hopefully we can get a boost, and that would be very nice, but we go for Cross Poison number 2. Cross Poison number 2 is going to put them into Poison Sting farm down range. All we have to do here is correctly shield up the Earthquake, which we're able to do. Go for the Poison Sting farm down, and we are one away from back-to-back Aqua Tails. Skarmory should be able to tank a single Aqua Tail there, but we go for a Poison Sting, fire off Aqua Tail number 2, and of course Aqua Tail will be getting the KO from this range, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.